This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You could win up to 325 times your entry with their new Pick 8. Sign up with code GOLFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy, promo code GOLFSGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. The latest episode of SGP Stories is out on Patreon, and the guys do a Forensic Files deep dive on the Bobby Petrino motorcycle accident. Honestly, I want to know what that is. So you guys should definitely check that out. The Bobby Petrino motorcycle accident. Please make sure to check that out and check out the WNBA gambling podcast. I've never seen more WNBA content the last few months. So check that out. Definitely money to be made there. They started out red hot. So head over to SGPN to get all that. Very special episode today. Got my good buddy. Me and him are trying to get a Malbin sponsorship show. If you can put our name out there, you know a guy, let us know. My guy, Kyle. Kyle, thanks for coming. Big weekend ahead for both of us.
Huge. It's going down the shore, which I know is a special place in both of our hearts this weekend. Oh, yeah. So excited for that. And we got the John Deere Classic, which I love. So, I mean, it's some people like these events. Some people love these events. Some people hate these events. I think this year I think I like these events more because that scary man named Scotty Scheffler, isn't in the field, and I don't really have to worry about him winning. So excited to break it down with you. Hopefully you and I are going to link up this weekend down the shore as well. So we'll
yeah. Honestly, like I've heard someone DM me said, "Why do you only have guests on for like shitty events?" And like this is like. These are the big events to us. These are what we care about more. I could easily have you or anyone on for a major, the Memorial. No, I don't get that. That's basic stuff. This is where the ball knowers come out. This is where we make the most money. So I know you've had some sick DFS weeks in some shitty events. So, and probably sick betting weeks as well. So we're going to go through the betting board specifically today. Yeah, I know you're excited. So what's your plan for the weekend? You're getting here, what, Wednesday, Thursday?
I'm getting in Wednesday night or Wednesday day. I don't think anybody's going to come in Wednesday. I think most people will come in Thursday morning, which is good because Wednesday I got to do some DFS lineups, obviously.
Right. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, of course. Come on now. But we'll see what happens. Maybe Wednesday post some DFS lineup building. I end up at a bar or something, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, it's going to be a busy weekend down the shore. You change your Tinder profile to a few lineup screenshots. You never know what that can lead to because, yeah, the girls might be seeing this guy finished what in the millie. So yeah, we'll definitely monitor that situation. So let's talk JDC. Obviously, PC was headlining this field at 9-1, and he withdrew fairly early. And I wrote up something about Patrick Cantlay, like a top 5 bet I was going to play for the Action Network, and then I wrote at the top, I was like, I don't think Patrick Cantlay was ready for his recent form that he just had because he had 2 really good results in a row. Before that, he was playing shitty golf. I think he was expecting to keep playing shitty golf and be like, I need the JDC for a tune-up. I think he's all right. And he's like, all right, what the fuck am I doing? I'm out. So what's your take on the Cantlay withdrawal?
I think you nailed it. I don't even think I need to say anything else because I think that was so spot on. I mean, I think we were joking when I probably sent you the text, or not the text, the tweet, like when he was when he signed up for the John Deere, and it was
a few weeks ago.
I can't believe Patrick Cantlay is like in the fucking field at the John Deere Classic, and he was playing terribly. You're right, and then like last 2 weeks at the U.S. Open, he clearly found something. Travelers, he always plays well at, so 2 good back-to-back weeks for him. And I got a lot of bets in, luckily, before.
You did. You were texting me like, get him in now.
They kept the lines up surprisingly long, so you were actually able to kind of get a few in, which was nice before he withdrew. And I think like Straka is now the favorite at 18-1, which is crazy. But there's part of what makes these weeks fun from a both betting perspective and DFS perspective is there aren't a lot of guys, with a lot of win equity, especially right now. Like Spieth is normally a big name, but like Spieth is, I don't know. Spieth hasn't been Spieth in like, a full calendar year, if not longer.
And I think he's only here for a tune-up too. Like he's
Yeah.
clearly not right. I think he wants to get back to the place where he won first, just like carefree. I need to envision this, like, how can I think back to 19-year-old Jordan Spieth in my mind, which like just free golf, playing your game. And I think he's here because we got link season coming up where he's played well in his career. Got to figure it out. Like, I don't even think he's coming here to be like, I need to win this event. I'm going to win this event. I think it's just a pure tune up. Let me just clear my mind in the farms of Illinois. I don't think my wife's going to be with me. I don't think my kid's going to be with me. Let's just do it. So that's my thoughts on Spieth this week. And I assume you're not going to go there, and not many people are going to go there.
Definitely not in the betting market.
In the betting market.
Definitely potential I go there in DFS and hate myself.
Agree.
But like, he's like, just, not even talking DFS, just talking like pure player profile. This year he's had literally like the weirdest fucking year. I'm like looking at his stats, and like part of it's been this, like, I think he's had this nagging wrist injury. It's been reported like on and off, and maybe that's bothering him. I've heard him, like, sometimes you hear players like give quotes, and like he's given quotes about the wrist that like lead me to believe that the wrist is like truly a problem. Like he
said it a lot. Yeah.
He says it locks up on him like randomly. Like it doesn't always hurt him, but sometimes it just, like, he'll be in the middle of the round, he'll hit a shot, and like it locks up on him, and then it just starts to hurt. So like it's super odd because he's been like killing the ball off the tee, which I guess you could argue is like a little bit less wrist, action than digging down and hitting irons. And his iron game has been abysmal. And then, like, at the U.S. Open, out of nowhere, he gains 8.68 strokes ball striking, has his best iron week of the entire year. I think he gained 5.93, and he can't hit a putt. Like he literally can't do anything on the greens at the U.S. Open. So odd, and that's like so odd for Spieth because like normally the weeks where he puts on, or previously when he in his younger career, when he put on the off the tee and the approach performance, you expected the putter to follow, and he never seems to like link up things statistically the same week.
No.
If it makes sense. He hasn't done that in a long time, so I'm out on him for betting. But I think it could be an interesting DFS play because I don't think anybody's going to really go there.
Yeah, in an event where, like, I gave this take about the Rocket. Like, the Rocket, although it seems like it's not really a pure putting contest, whereas the JDC, guys will gain 7+ putting, and no matter who you are, you can plot your way around here and just make everything and win this event. Like, it's happened in the last 3 to 5 years. So, and I cannot trust Jordan Spieth over a 5-foot putt. I don't care if that's at Pinehurst on glassy greens or at some of the most straightforward TPC greens that we'll see all year. So definitely out on Jordan Spieth. This big three of Sepp at like an absolute peak in pricing for his career, and Sungjae. I feel like if anyone's going to the top, it's probably going to be Sungjae. It's just because this isn't a price that we haven't seen him here in a while, but we've seen Sungjae in this range plenty of times in his career. A guy who's had his best iron week since Torrey Pines in 2023, which is a long time ago, and a guy who makes sense on a golf course like this. And these odds, although they're the favorites, these odds feel like they are alternate event odds. Like this is not like a one-off, like regular event. Like we usually don't see guys start at 16 to 18, but we have that here. So you can go to the top and still build a fair amount of card. If you have to go to the top, I think it's probably going to be Sungjae, although I love Sepp long-term versus Sungjae just like one really, really good week. But it's a crazy price. I think in totality, no one's going to go up here. Do you think you're going to go up there?
Not betting wise. I think if I had to, it'd probably be, I think for me, it'd honestly be Sepp. I don't know why. Just Sungjae, Sungjae's like just a top 5-10 machine. I feel like even when he's like in form, and Sepp, I just feel like has more dog in him in terms of like closing out tournaments. Sepp's actually like hitting they're both playing probably.
Sepp's been striping the ball the last 2 months.
He has been, right? So he had a bad start at the U.S. Open, but 3rd at Travelers, 8th at Memorial, 9th at Charles Schwab, cut at PGA, 4th at Wells Fargo, 12th at RBC Heritage. So really since post Masters, he's kind of been on a tear. Ball striking's been really good, defending champion. So, I mean, if I had to, I'd probably go to Sepp out of them. But yeah, I'm not going. My first bet is a guy 30. I got him at 30 to 1 is Davey T, who I think will be pretty popular.
Yeah, let's move on to like this next range, because I mean, I'm definitely not touching any of this big three, I guess you can call it, between the Sepp, Sungjae, and Jordan. So let's talk about this 20, and we'll go to like 35 range. Actually, we'll include Davey in there, because I'm looking at DraftKings and he is 25 to 1 now. So you definitely got a good number. So Aaron Rai 20 to 1 on DraftKings, Big Den 22, Davey T 25, Mav, Keith 30, and Nick Dunn, Jason Day, and Posty 35. So we'll do that big range. Talk about Davis Thompson. Yeah, you mentioned him, so you're betting him at 35, you said? Let's do it.
I think I got him 30 to 1, I believe.
30? Okay.
So he was 30 to 1, and I thought that was going to go down. I thought he was going to be pretty popular tip this week, but
I agree.
I just think like a lot of guys like stats like I like to look at, and I know this sounds dumb, but like you look at Davis Thompson's stats and it looks like a guy that's close to winning a golf tournament, like really close. I mean, in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starts, he's got 2 second places, a 9th at the US Open, 17th at Charles Schwab. He's a guy that I think, you and I and other people that really know golf like have talked about, like, this kid's like legit. Like I think he's a Walker Cup guy. He's played in a lot of big tournaments,
elite college player.
Yeah. So he's a guy, and he's just a ball, like he's always had the ball striking. So like to see the putter and like the around the green game, gained 7 around the green at the US Open, which I thought was wild. Like, especially for him. So I didn't bet him last week. Another reason I kind of bet him, this is so dumb. This is such like an unquantifiable thing. But like,
I love it though. I know where you're going. I love it.
Sometimes I go to these tournaments and like I overthink like last week I built a card that was actually pretty good. I had like Dunlap who was mixing. I had Knapp who was mixing. I had Hojgaard who was mixing until he had a terrible fucking Sunday. But sometimes I think to myself, like, I'm going to start my card here. And like last week I did that and I skipped Akshay, and like I had been on Akshay all year. I was on Akshay at his win. I was on Akshay 90 to 1 the week before last at
Travelers. I was on him too.
Yeah. And I just was like, it's too much to pay in this event.
I agree.
It happens so many times though, where I feel like Ricky last year at Rocket Mortgage, where I liked Ricky a lot. I ended up betting him last year, but I almost talked myself off of Ricky just because of the number. Like I wasn't even like, I really think this guy's going to win. I really like him. That's kind of how I feel about Thompson this week. I don't love the 30 to 1. But he's where I started my card, and like I just kind of ate him as my top guy in, which still gave me a lot of room.
Well, and like the last 2 Rockets, I know Akshay didn't win, but if Akshay were to have won yesterday, it would have been 2 years in a row the most obvious golfer won the Rocket, which is like crazy to think about, like for what the Rocket Mortgage is in terms of like winning score to par. And it didn't come down to it, but it's just I was like kicking myself too, because I bet Akshay at 90 to 1 last week, and I was like, damn, do I really want to bet him at his shortest odds ever? Probably not. And yeah, obviously it worked out in the end, but I was definitely kicking myself up until then. So yeah, this range is.
It would have been the second time. I was just gonna say it would have been the second time this year too. Akshay finished second the week before, and then won the next week.
Yeah, it just makes he's playing good. Bet him. Like it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
So yeah, Aaron Rai, thoughts on him too, and then down to anyone else in this range that you're giving a look at. Are you gonna go back to Dunlap or anyone else? I don't think we can bet Aaron Rai at 20 to 1. He's just doesn't.
I caught a 45 on Dunlap.
I like Dunlap too.
I've been riding Dunlap. So like Dunlap has been this, like, it's funny. Sometimes you like see it in the stats, and sometimes you don't. Like Dunlap, when he won American Express, and say what you want about American Express, it's a fucking kind of dog shit field. Like the way he won the tournament, like at first, like as an amateur, was like to do it the way he did it as an amateur was so impressive. I thought like he was making so many big putts, hitting so many big shots. I really was like, this guy is legit. Like I think he's going to be like a big name on the PGA Tour. And after the win and when he went pro, he like kind of hit a fence. He was not playing well for a long time. Like really, like we were joking, like what the fuck is up with like Dunlap? Like I thought this guy was like supposed to be the next big name or whatever. He's the first guy to win as an amateur on the PGA Tour since Phil fucking Mickelson. So he's got these big shoes. There was definitely like this big gap in terms of, I think it took him time to kind of go, kind of find some form, but he's actually he's been playing just more consistent
recently. Yeah.
Recently. And he's hitting the ball really well. So like I bet him last week, he led the field tee to green the week before last on Sunday. Which was one of the reasons I bet him last week, and he hit it great again. I think he was second in the field tee to green. I think he was second in the field tee to green. I don't think I'm making that up. Last week or second in the field ball strike. No, that's what it was. He was second in the field ball striking. He was terrible around the green. Apologies. And first was Clanton, which is so funny. Stud. But 45-1. I think he's just a guy that, especially in Birdie Fest, like I like him in Birdie.
Mm-hmm. He made a ton of birdies last week. He had a ton of opportunities. So give me a guy that I don't think, sometimes I like taking chances on these guys that I don't even know if like we know 100% what these guys are. Like, you know what I mean? Like Dunlap could 100%. Be fucking, I got like Dunlap's 45-1. Who knows if in a year or 2 years, we're betting this guy, he's favorites in tournaments. Not saying that's going to happen, but you got to take your chances. You don't know until it happens. Like I always say, like people say like, oh, this guy can't win twice in a year. And until they do, like what happens if they do? Then what are you going to say after that? Oh, I should have bet him. Like exactly. He was good. Yeah, exactly. So I'm down on Dunlap too. I haven't gotten there yet, but I mean, I saw on Twitter, Brian was saying Dunlap 45 is a horrible number, which 30, I don't really get.
He was like 35 when he tweeted that out. So
still though, like, he's won more recently than anyone in this field for the most part. He is a young stud. And this is the least nuanced course that he's played since the American Express, in which he's won. Asked you very similar questions. Played very good last week. By like, where should he be? 70-1? Like, why? Who should be ahead of him? That's not. I mean, there's probably a few names that you could say, but I think he's fairly priced. He's mixed last week. What did he end up finishing? Like T5, T9, something like that.
T9, but he was. I double checked. He was second in the field in ball striking, so ahead of I jokingly sent a text to Brian that Dunlap played better than Akshay because he gained more strokes ball striking, which was a joke. But no, I just think it's a kind of a form play. It's a kind of buy low on a guy that I think has a really high ceiling sort of play, and I just think it's a good spot for him. I think we've talked about this before. We kind of like him just at Birdie Fest. I think more than an Arnold Palmer type of an event right now. And I like a course where he can get away with the driver a little bit, which I know he can here, like he could last week, but he actually drove the ball really well last week. So hopefully that just carries over. That's the kind of the Dunlap sell.
Yeah. Shout out Mike Manning. Nailed the Hoy. On Friday night, he was plus 450 for top 20, and he was like 25-1 for a T5. And we did that on the Friday night show. That and Neil Shipley plus 180 top 20. They both cashed. And I also bet Will Z top 5, but he withdrew on Saturday, so that just lost. But so anyone else in this 20?
Sorry for interrupting about Hoey, just because we've talked about him before. He's like the worst putter ever. He gained like he gained like 6 strokes putting or 5.6 strokes putting last week.
No, that was my thing. Like I looked at on Friday, I was like, he's gaining strokes putting. If he's gaining strokes putting ever in a week, like I'm gonna just like put something on him because he's never gonna do it again. He's riding that hot hand, but I wouldn't do it again this week if I was given the opportunity. I have a question. Anyone from any one of these three, Mav, Keith, or Posty, would you consider?
I just think like the Mav thing is like you're paying like 30-1 for a guy who's never won a tournament, and it's like hard for me even in this field. It's hard for me to justify. Like
he doesn't get in the mix. He doesn't even mix either.
He's playing great. Like he is playing great. And I don't not like Maverick McNeely. I just think 30-1's in this field's a big ask. Like I'd rather bet a 35 on Dunlap than a whatever numbers there on Mav personally. Keith is interesting. It's just the putter with him. Like he's hitting it great. He's played well here before.
So this is one of the only courses he's gained on approach every single start.
Yeah,
I think it might be the only course.
And his irons are like pure right now. Like he's hitting the ball really well. It's just been on and off with the putter. So he was a guy I was thinking maybe DFS Keith. But I'm not. I did not bet Keith. I do have room for more. Like I think I have room for like one or two more people. So I could be sold on another guy. But no, I have not touched the people in those range.
Yeah, I probably won't. I can see myself getting to Keith just because I'm an asshole and like betting on Keith Mitchell. But he's so. I bet him in times that he's mixed. Like he's mixed in the last 3 years. I think maybe 3 or 4 times, and one of them was CJ Cup at Summit and then Valspar. I had him at both of those tournaments at like really at nice numbers. So like I feel like I bet Keith when he does okay. So I don't know. I don't know.
Still 40s, by the way, on Dunlap.
On Keith?
On Dunlap. I'm just going through the board now. Keith's best number I'm seeing is 30 right now. Maverick 30.
Yeah, it's tough.
Poston 35. Poston like is a winner. Like
exactly.
Like in terms of a Matt Gannon bet, like I don't think anybody's gonna be on Poston. He makes a lot of sense. And the last 2 times he's come here, I think it's been a win and a 6th. Right? Like I think
it was win in 6 last year. But before that it was like I think it was all missed cuts or something like that or horrible.
It's super weird with Poston. But like this is a Poston course. Like this is a Poston course through and through. Driver accuracy, like who can get hot with their putter. He can get very, very hot with the putter. I think from the way like you like to look at things, like you don't always like to necessarily be on the more popular guys. Like I think he's kind of fits that mold as somebody who could definitely win this tournament, and that I don't think ever like a lot of people are going to be like the first guy they bet on.
Yeah, and Poston, like I like to get ahead of Poston, and I tried to get ahead of him at the Travelers, which didn't go well. Maybe I'll try again here because he's a guy who heats up in 1 second, and then he's like you miss it, like you missed it, and like it'll be a 1 to 2 week thing. And he's a guy who's like if he's 4 under through 6, he's off to the races for the week. So I can see myself getting to Poston. Let's get to this 40+ range. Before we do that, quickly, I want to do 2 more ads. Underdog Fantasy, the pick 8 is now live. Create entries with up to 8 picks, and Underdog will automatically double flex it, so you can miss up to two picks and still win your money. Extra ways to win: you can win up to 325 your entry, 325 times your entry, which is a lot. You can use specials and boosts on all flex entries. I'm going to be doing my picks. They're on SGPN.com. I do 2 picks per day, so check it out every Wednesday night through Saturday night for each round of golf. Golf SGPN to get your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Code Golf SGPN. And then the Circa Sports Millie contest, giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes. No rake. Circa Millions is to pick 5 NFL teams each week against the spread and compete for $6 million or survive the NFL gauntlet to claim the $10 million prize. Seems easy, but it's not. I think you should definitely try. Sign up in person at Circa Sports between now and September 7th, or you can use a proxy and play from anywhere in the entire country. Footballcontestproxy.com to save you $50 with promo code SGP. Definitely book that trip to Vegas. See some of our guys out there. Let's do it. Let's get to the 40 to 50 range, and we'll start with who are we going to start with? Sam Stevens, Luke Clanton, Kevin Yu, Bo Hostler, Svensson are between 40 and 45, and at 50 we got Glove, Eric Cole. We'll do Seamus Power and P Rod. So anyone in this range you've bet? Anyone in this range you are going to take a look at?
I have bet 2 guys in this range, but I got them at pretty good numbers. One I think you're gonna like. One I think you may not. I bet Clanton 75 to 1. He was the first bet I made.
Wow.
And look, this doesn't always happen, and I could be fucking full of shit, and I could be wrong. But not only is this guy he gained 4+ strokes at Pinehurst, and then he off the tee. He led the field off the tee, and he led the field ball striking last week. I'm watching this guy play, and I'm sure you were too, because I'm a sick fuck. And I was watching the Rocket Mortgage last weekend. Like, he looks the part.
Who wasn't watching?
Yeah, exactly. I think anybody who's in here probably was watching, but like, he legitimately looks the part. Like, he
looked confident.
He kills the ball off the tee. He's kind of got a little cocky swagger to him, which I like. Maybe not cocky though, but he's just like got a little swagger to him, which I like. Like, he's confident in himself, which I like. He's, kind of has a shit-eating grin on his face after he hits like nasty shots. He's the lowest scoring average in Florida State history. He's an incredibly high touted. He's the fourth best amateur in the world. Like, these amateurs nowadays, I don't think they're built like the amateurs that we're previously accustomed to. I think that there's been so many instances in terms of amateurs or first year guys out ever since the Morikawa class, where it was Morikawa, Hovland, Justin Suh, who's kind of been a dud, and Matt Wolff, who came up and was lighting the tour on fire. There's been these guys who have come out and been young and ready to go, like these amateurs. I'm not going to wait like I used to kind of with some of these guys. I actually bet two of them this week, not including Dunlap.
Okay.
I took Clanton and I took Shipley.
Neil Shipp, stud.
Shipp was fourth in the field in approach last week. He's just a ball striking guy, and like, these stats aren't lying to you, right? When you see these stats at these big time tournaments, and then you see them again like in these smaller fields, these guys can compete with these sorts of fields 100%, and you're getting big numbers on them. I think that these guys can win too. Like, I think Clanton or Shipley could come out and win this week. I think they've shown that they're not afraid of the moment. So I got the 75 on Shipley. I got or 75 on Clanton, 110 on Shipley. But I also bet somebody else in this. Oh, I bet Seamus at 80.
I bet him at 70. He was the only guy I bet so far.
Yeah. So
I'm scared he's gonna be chart though, which I'll have to cash out. But he just makes too much sense.
Yeah, he could be chart. He because Andy likes him. So I think that was Andy's. I think Andy did what you did. Like, I think Andy's made one bet because he was doing some golf thing today, and it was Seamus.
He makes too much sense. Like, this man gained in every category at the Travelers. You win at Port Royal. You win at Keene Trace. You play well at Harbor Town. You play well at RSM. These are the courses that Seamus Power plays good at. And the fact that you did it at an elevated event in an elite field last week, why not at this number? Like, why is Seamus 70, 80, and guys like Eric Kohler 50, Kevin Yu is 45? Makes no sense. So which is somewhat concerning. But if you do that, like the fact that we didn't bet Cam Davis at 80, just a good number, a winner, that makes sense. Like EVR last week, I bet he was mixing. The numbers didn't make sense. So I'm doing that with Seamus. It makes so much sense. He's played great here, and he is in great form. Down for some Seamus I got him at 70. I see him at 55 now. Any love to? I can see myself getting to Svensson at 45. Good number, course fit. Didn't play great last week, but I didn't love the course for Svensson last week. He's in fine form. I can see myself getting there.
I hate the number. I have a U problem. Like, I normally bet him like every Kevin Yu, that is. Not a U. Problem, a Kevin Yu problem. And he's 45-1, which probably isn't a good line. But I do have a nugget on him.
Switching his putter?
No, he finished 10th here. He finished top 10 here last year. He finished 6th. But you're going to like this because it's basically he gained 7 strokes putting. Kevin Yu never gained strokes putting. He never gained strokes putting. He's a ball striking son of a bitch. He's an unbelievable tee to green player, specifically off the tee and approach. So, like, for me to see the 7 strokes gain putting here, it's definitely like intriguing to me. And he's 45-1. So I don't love the number. Brian always makes fun of me for betting him. And like, a lot of times I bet him because I like him. And Brian's like, don't bet him first thing in the morning because nobody's going to bet him and his odds will like go down. But I do it anyway. And then I joke with him that I have reverse CLV on Kevin Yu. But I didn't do that this week. So Brian will be proud. But I did see that stat, which I was like, wow. Like Kevin Yu finished 6th here and he gained 7 strokes putting. Like
if golf was played on a simulator, Kevin Yu would be Michael Jordan probably of golf. It'd be insane.
He'd be legitimately up there. He's so good off the tee, and even last week he finished 30th. He hit the ball like a guy who finished top 10 again last week. He does that like most weeks.
Yeah. So want to go down a little bit of the range? All right, we got
one
a question
other nugget I have
okay.
one other nugget for this range. I'm never betting this guy in my life, but it's a nugget, and I think people would appreciate it. Bo Hostler gained
I want to hear this.
4.6 strokes on approach last week. It must have been the first time he's gained on approach in like 10 weeks. And it's probably the first time he's ever gained 4 strokes on approach. Like I have to believe it's one of his best, if not his best approach week of his life or his recent career. And normally like Bo Hostler is a guy, and again, I hate the number like 50-1 for Bo Hostler.
I don't really, honestly, I don't hate it.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I'm giving out what I thought were useful nuggets I saw when I was going through stats today.
Yeah. That was his best ball striking performance in 2024. So I agree with you. I'm down, and it's not a horrible number. Like it screams first round leader. Like I do like that. It screams first round leader. What do you think about Toasty? I'm definitely 100% out on Toasty. He missed the cut last week, but I will bet Toasty at a course where you can drive the ball anywhere every single year. I don't hate him missing a cut. It was 100-1. Whatever. Would you see yourself going to Toasty this year? He can drive the ball in the water a lot here.
I bet Toasty last week.
I did too. Bad beat, honestly. Like bad
beat. Terrible beat. He withdrew. He wasn't 100%. The week before that, he gained like 8 strokes on approach or something crazy. In the last start he had. He is like, I don't think form matters with him.
No.
I think
it's Toasty at the Rocket. Like it's Toasty when you could drive it anywhere. The last time we saw Toasty in a place like that was Houston, and he almost won. Like
that's similar to Knapp. Like I played
and
Knapp.
Myrtle. He played good too.
I played Knapp last week. I didn't bet, and I bet Knapp last week. And like I was joking with like Brian and Andy. I said like literally like anytime, even this week, honestly, I almost went back to him. He gained 6 strokes off the tee last week. He didn't really do anything with Knapp did. I was like any course where you can let it go and there's no consequence of miss off the tee, Jake Knapp. And I'm not kidding.
100%.
That's a fact. But I didn't.
He was just chart last week. That's why I didn't bet him.
Yeah, maybe he's a good flop play.
I like that better than Toasty because
he gained like he hit it really well, and he had one round where he gained like 4 on approach. I don't know which round it was, but
when Knapp got hot last time, he got hot for like a little short run, and like the fact that Knapp T5 at the Honda is crazy because I think every time Knapp will play the Honda, he will finish like dead last. That course makes no sense for him. But if he's finding something for these short spurts and you've shown it at the Honda, I can get there. What are his odds this week?
He's like over 100-1 to get. Or no, he's 100
to nuts.
That's a great bet, dude.
Yeah, I think I can get there. Like, there's some of these guys that are.
He's a guy that like he can get hot and win too. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just saying that because he's won once. He's mixed a few times this year.
No, he almost won the freaking Byron.
He mixed at Torrey Pines. Like he's had a few big finishes. And I think 100-1 in this field, like you're getting a guy that's almost won 2 or 3. You could say he almost won twice this year. I bet one other guy under 100 if you want.
Who's that? Yeah, let's do this like 80 to 100 range.
Like you're a fan of this guy, and I don't think this guy's going to be chart. So you might be joining Rio. I bet Rio 70-1.
Rio is my guy.
He's found something with the irons. He's had here. Wait, let me pull it up. I was looking at this before because there's some good nuggets with Rio.
It's all going to be the putter with Rio. There's not many better courses for Rio than this week. He's going to hit fairways. He's going to be awesome with the irons. If he can heat up with the putter, I am down. And like I bet Rio on the DP World Tour when I sadly wasn't on him the week he won, but I bet Rio a ton. This course makes so much sense for him. A little bit of water, short positional design. This is like Golf National. Get him to the Olympics.
So he gained. So like just to like since the CJ Cup, not that this is a big, but this was in May 5th. So he finished 13th at CJ Cup, cut at Myrtle. he had a huge finish at the PGA Championship, which I'm sure you saw because we're both sickos.
Yeah.
Finished 18th, and he gained 7 strokes on approach. So that was when I was like, wow, like maybe Rio's irons. The next week he went out, he missed the cut. Following week at Canadian Open, he finished 35, but he gained 6.7 ball striking. And then last week he gained everywhere but with the putter, finished 31st, gained 3.78 tee to green, 2.1 ball striking. So he's hitting the ball pretty well. He's like a young guy. Like he's like 22 or 23, which is kind of what I'm looking for. A lot of times I get like sucked into like betting these guys that have good course history here. And it's like, yeah, like they have good course history. They played here for like 25 fucking years.
But there's new names in the block.
There's some new names on the block. I'm trying to do more new names on the block for this tournament. So he was the last guy.
You think you're going to see a first-time winner here?
I think you definitely could this week, especially with the way some of these guys without wins are playing right now. Rye playing great, probably won't win. Could mix. McNeely playing great, probably won't win. Could mix. Davis, like somebody has to win.
Denny, we skipped Denny. Like, what's your thoughts?
I love it.
I have a crazy nugget with Denny.
Denny could absolutely win this tournament. I just like what's like. Let me see what number he's at.
I think he's like 25.
That's my only thing. That's the only problem. I don't hate it. I just don't love like.
He's definitely a course history guy though. Like
he is. And look, like it's the same thing that I was saying with Ricky last year, and maybe it's similar with Denny, right? Like, okay, like. There's also like a reason these guys are 25 to 1. Like I know I shit on it, like, and it's like, oh, he shouldn't be 25 to 1, but like there are like somebody has to have that number in this field. Like right. Denny has it. Denny is he has an
approach this week.
Yeah, he's got the course history. I like him in Birdie Fest. I don't hate it. Like it makes a lot of sense to me.
If there's a guy who can gain 7-8 putting like guys do at John Deere, I mean, why can't freaking Denny do that? Absolutely. But want to hear my nugget about Denny? You're gonna love this. It's crazy. The last 2 times he's played a TPC design, he's gained an approach. The last 11 times he's played normal courses, he's lost on approach. So like in his last 13 starts, 2 of them are TPC designs, gained on approach, and the other ones are just other courses, like not TPC courses. He's lost on approach. We're at a TPC design here, obviously. That is just a super inside baseball, deep one. So I think Denny, if he can gain on approach, we know he can gain infinity putting. But honestly, whenever I do tout Denny or bet Denny, he has those weeks where he'll 3-putt and miss a 3-footer. I'm like, why am I fucking betting Denny if he's gonna do this?
Yeah,
but I was a crazy stat. I was like, what the fuck?
I do like. I like if you take the number out of it, I like Denny, and I said that if you take the number out of it, I like Davis Thompson. So I can't say I don't like Denny just because of that. I do just think it's a big number to pay, but I also think there's a reason he's that way. He's got the course history. Like you said, you just gave a great nugget. I think it's all going to be dependent on his irons. If he can get the irons going, he'll be mixing like he will be at this course. So I don't hate it. I kind of want a piece of him for DFS, but I feel like he's going to be chalky.
No, I think he could be, especially because you see the back-to-back like T6 or whatever it is. Like, Denny makes sense. Let's get into the triple Ds. Before we get into the triple digits, one more ad read. If you plan on watching the JDC this week, like Kyle and I are, a lot of our friends are going to be at the bars. We will not be. We will be watching the John Deere Classic together. The Rhythms Golf feature makes it easier than ever to find the best betting opportunities for the John Deere Classic by letting users create custom models and instantly see bet recs for outright winners, T5s, T10s, and so on. Rhythm presents these bets in a menu-like format, making it easy to see where your models agree with, helping you feel confident in your betting decisions. They offer an AI caddy, which gives bettors a chance to see every single golfer in the field's simulated performance thanks to their powerful AI algorithm. You can use this find huge plus money betting opportunities throughout every tournament. Rhythm is the ultimate golf betting and DFS companion. Download now and start a free 7-day trial and bet smarter on the JDC. 7-day free trial today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Okay, triple digits. I'll lead us off with one. A guy that I think opened there, but I think is down to 80 and 70 in some spots. Michael Thorbe Jorgensen.
I was just about to ask you about him because I see him at 80. I was just about to, like, the first thing I was going to say when we moved was like, because I heard you talk about him, and I think it's a great buy low spot, which is what I think I heard you talk about earlier.
I mean, it's like even less than a buy low spot. Like like I said, we see Ludwig come out and just fuck on these short courses, and Thorbjornsen's a bomber. Like, all right, yeah, I want him at the Rocket. I want him at a course we can just send the driver. We don't know what he is yet. What if he just comes out and is like Ludwig, plays great on these shorter courses, and he has a T4 at the Travelers. He finished top 20 this event last year. I'm down. I'm down.
I had him in DFS last week. I think he's just a guy you keep eyeing on, and especially if they're gonna like let the number swing.
He missed the cut on the number, right?
Yeah, hurt for DFS. But
listen to this real quick. I had a parlay, all 4 Stanford Cardinals: Brandon Wu, Patrick Rogers, Thorbjornsen, and there's one more I just can't remember right now to make the cut. It was like 25-1, and Thorbjornsen missed the cut.
He like got caught in a bunker too. Like that's how he missed the cut. Like
I thought he was like 4 under to start the. I was like, oh, Thorbjornsen's a lock. I got to see Brandon Wu. Brandon Wu made like a 25-footer to make the cut too. I was so pissed. I was so pissed.
No, I like the Thorbjornsen play. I think he's definitely another one of these guys that we're gonna like want to keep an eye on. I mean, he was the highest ranked out of the guys in this class. I think I was talking to Baroff about this. Like, I think he's like it. Baroff made it sound like his form kind of tailed off a little at the end of the collegiate year, and he kind of hasn't had as great form since. But like that's not to say that this guy can't find it. Just like any of these guys, it's golf. But talent wise, I mean, he's the number one he's higher than Shipley, he's higher than Clanton, who I bet. And you're getting him at a better number than Clanton this week. So I do like that. And like you said, his 2 best finishes. I think everybody wants to, say these guys are going to be great on these, let it rip bomber driver golf courses, which maybe they might be, but like you are right. I know Thorbjornsen has the big finish at Travelers, and he has a good finish here. So, maybe it's worth going back to. So I have room. I could probably fit Thorbjornsen. I'm contemplating it.
Yeah. I also like Andrew Novak. I know his number also is getting a little bit moved, but he's not far removed from his best approach week of his career, which is at the Canadian Open. It was all right last week. He wasn't great across the board, but he's a guy who's got a ton of T10s this season and can get hot on approach, can get hot with the putter too in spots. He's played all right here, I believe. Any thoughts on Novak or any thoughts on guys down low behind him? Because once you get past 100, some of these guys are going to mix, but like the names just get bleak.
Yeah, I bet Shipley 110.
Good number.
It's just kind of a talent play and a numbers like both. Like he's highly.
Dude, if you're low am at 2 majors, like you're fucking good. Like
yeah, and then you come out and you gain 5 strokes in approach last week. Like you're right in the mix again. So I like him. I bet Joel Dahman. At 120.
Trending. He's trending.
He's got one good finish here, and then he's got a bunch of missed cuts. But like I think his irons are trending. I think I could see him, if he does put it together, being a guy that can actually win the tournament at 120-1. Which like sometimes I bet the guys, and then I'm like, does this guy actually have a chance to win? I've got a few other names I'm considering, and I think they're all like I can give great sells for all of them. I think you'll like all of them, and I don't think they're going to be. I think one of them is going to be popular. So the 3 guys that I'm like contemplating on top of the Thorbjornsen play you just said, because I probably only have room for one more guy, honestly, is Grayson Sigg. He's won at 120-1. He's played this course twice. He's got 2 top 16 finishes here. He's hit the ball very well both times here. He's a driving accuracy guy. I think he's playing pretty well as well. He was one guy. Patton Kazire has found something. I'm telling you, he has found something. 150-1. Shout out to RK if he's listening. He was the first name that he sent me in the DMs this morning, and definitely makes sense from a stats perspective. And he's played the course well multiple times. He's had 4 really good finishes here, like all inside the top 20. So Patton Kazire is kind of that mix of form and course history that you generally like. Ben Silverman, no good course history here, but incredible form. Ben Cole,
I like Silverman too.
Ben Cole's another guy who's just like, he keeps popping up on leaderboards in these dog shit events. Those were two guys. Troy Merritt is playing well again. He's 150 to 1. And then the last guy that I think is very sneaky and like I have a good sell for. So let me like tee it all up. Oh, damn it. He's down to 80 to 1. I did not see that. Is Jonathan Vegas. I'm sorry.
Vegas.
I think Vegas could be the nuts in DFS. This week.
I could see that.
Why I say that, hold on. Jonathan Vegas is another guy. So like sometimes I like to, I don't know if you ever do this or not, but like when a guy's like a terrible putter and like I'm trying to justify betting him, like a lot of times I'll look to see like, has he played the course before and how has he putted at the course before? Jonathan Vegas last week, let me get both of these teed up because I think it's a good sell. Jonathan Vegas last week, here he is. He gained 7.5 ball striking, 3.09 off the tee, 4.66 with approach. He lost 3.2 strokes around the green and putting. Jonathan Vegas has gained strokes putting 1, 2, 3, 4 straight times at John Deere.
That's real. He's confident then.
Yeah, like he's gained like a lot of strokes putting. So like it's not just like even strokes. Like so he finished third here 2014, which is 2014 is one of my favorite years. Leader, I'm just joking. But 2014
everyone knows that.
Yeah. 5.92 putting in 2014. He gained 2.07 in 2015. He gained 1.79 putting in 2019. He gained 3.16 putting last time he played in 2021 with an 11th, a 3rd, a 37th, a 44th. So like I just think it's a good like if you like to like look like, okay, this guy's hitting the ball well, but he's not putting well, but he's going back to a course where he has putted well before and he has big finishes. Makes a lot of sense to me. So if it's not a bet, it's definitely going to be a DFS play for me this week. But he was the other guy.
That's a good sell. I actually want to talk about. It's weird that I'm on the Golf Gambling podcast, and I think I want to mention the worst number in the history of odds. And it's weird because I'm saying a guy whose triple digits might be the worst bet ever. But Cole Sherwood at 180 to 1 on DraftKings might be the worst bet I've ever seen. This guy is a senior at Vanderbilt and has one career start, and it is a T42 or T46 in a Korn Ferry Tour event. Why is he 180 to 1? Why is Sammy Valimaki 200 to 1? Malnati, a PGA Tour winner this year, 300 to 1. Guys who've played good golf are like 3 times his odds.
Yeah,
you mention that real quick.
You know who else are interesting? While I'm here, since David Skins,
dude. What? Yes, I fucking love it. He striped his irons last week.
He gained 6.96 on approach last week, 3.95 the week before. Lost on approach the week before that. Gained 4.01 at Myrtle. Gained 2.85. So this guy's gained more than 2.5 strokes on approach in 1, 2, 3, 4 straight starts.
He's not scared of the moment either.
No. I don't know what his number is, or I don't think he has good course history. But
he's only played it one time. But this is a new year for Skins. How I know that Skins is like fucking this year is he's top 100 in driving distance. What's like. For David Skins, that means he's putting in work. Like he's putting in work. So he's down.
He's interesting. You know who else is interesting? He's not. This isn't as good of a sell. He's just had 2 straight bad weeks. But like everybody was talking about this guy. Now nobody's talking about this guy. So maybe I'll go to him for DFS. But like this guy Mac
Meisner. Yeah.
I always think his name's Mark Messier. But
no, yes. I like him. Bounce back week for sure.
He's a ball striking son of a bitch too. He
can gain across the board too. He can do everything well.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good young player. I've like watched him too. Like some of these guys I don't like always get eyes on. Like I've seen him play. He's got some talent. So those are
him and Chandler Phillips I like very equally.
I like Phillips. Yep. He's playing well. He had a bad. Did he make the cut last week?
He had a bad week last week, but outside of last week he's been striping it, and his best results have came on shorter tracks. So I'm definitely down for some Chandy Phils.
One of my friends said Jacob Bridgman.
He made the cut last week. I'm not sure what he did, though.
I don't know why he said Jacob Bridgman, but like he said Jacob Bridgman. He gained
Yeah,
4.63.
he's kind of a short game guy. Like I don't love his ball striking.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyone else down here you want to mention before we leg off?
I mean,
It's still early in the week. We got time to decide.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna throw some nasty first round leader bombs out there.
Sam
So
Velamaki, put that on the card.
We'll be in touch on that. But I think that's all I've got in terms of nuggets and insightful information. So
yeah, all right, awesome. Well, tell them where they could find you if they don't know where your handle.
Yeah, Huey Mack on Twitter, 2449. I should probably change that to like a not stupid name, but that's always been my Twitter handle. Yeah, just hit me up on Twitter, ping me, message me, at me, whatever the fuck. I'll respond. I'll be watching the JDC. I'm always dicing up the board. So here to help.
Yeah. So big week for us. I've got a ton of content coming.
Did you have it? Do you have any Euro bets? Did you make any Euro bets yet?
Ryan Fox.
Yeah,
I mean, guys who have played the week before, like on the PGA Tour, and then came to this event, have played really well. Hovland, Fitz, even who else? It was someone else, and Fox has played well here before, so I'm definitely down for some of that.
I bet Pavan.
On Pavan.
Yeah, not Pavone. Yeah. Pavan.
Yeah.
Although I also bet a 550 to 1 future on Pavone at the PGA Championship next year.
Why not?
I'm dead serious.
You bet Pavone at Quell. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that.
You play him in Diffie C's. Sweet. So yeah, you guys know where to find me. Ton of content coming this week. Steven Capper have got the week off. Got the DFS show coming. Got the betting 6K show. Any questions? You know where to find me across the board. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun week. Happy 4th. Actually, no. Happy JDC week. That's all that matters. See you guys soon. Thank you, Kyle.
Yes, sir. Anytime.